All right, so we live. What's good,
Yeah.
brother?
Everything and nothing, man. What's good with you, man?
Trying to maintain, man. You know, I've been going through some physical struggles with this back problem of mine. So you see, I'm in a much better condition today
Yeah,
than I was
yeah.
yesterday.
You standing up today? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Standing up today.
Okay.
How much longer I'm gonna be standing up, I don't know, but at least I'm standing up, bro.
Let's keep you upright, brother. Let's keep
Yeah.
you upright. For sure, man. Yeah, I hurt my foot, man. And, yeah, it's been a struggle. I ain't been to work in like 2 months. Uh, I work at a foundation. Actually, I work at Abdul Kamal Foundation, a brother from New
Okay.
Jersey. Son was killed by the police in 2013. And he so happened to live in St. Louis at the time. He had found, he was just doing construction. And, you know, he was trying to tell people like, yo, the police wilding, we ain't getting no justice and nobody listened. That was 2013. And then boom, 2014 happened. Mike Brown get killed. So,
Right.
yeah. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, I'm wishing you a speedy recovery, brother. Need you
For
back
sure.
out there.
For sure, man.
Need you back out there. So what's going on in St. Louis these days, man? And in Ferguson, what's happening? What y'all got going on?
And Ferguson, man, it's insane, man. It's you got a lot of energy. Just we lack deep political education.
Mm.
And so really the sadder part is 6 years later, 7 years later almost, people are politically as ignorant as they were then, as now. And so what happens is, but what had happened was is the people who were outside protesting and doing things. You either get you either get sucked up or you get left out, and so you either get pulled into the white liberal funded apparatus who give you a whole bunch of words that you can't go organize your people with, or you start looking at documentaries and thinking that you are revolutionary because you graduated YouTube University. You know how it is.
Right.
Somebody didn't watch Hidden Colors one too many times, and now they feel like they the blackest thing since sliced bread. And so, for all the black people who was black before 2014, we like no, we talking about white supremacy and things of that nature, and I don't think they really fully understand and grasp it. So it's a lot of symbolism though. We got some Negroes in office,
Right.
and some nice Negroes with suits, and that make people smile. But
And
like Corey Bush just said,
politically,
yeah, yeah. Corey Bush just said that St. Louis since 2013 is number one in police shootings and murders in the country. So
I saw that. I was going to ask you about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's real. And then we fighting our own people. You got to understand Ferguson. Wesley Bell is now the county prosecutor. Everybody from color changed and everybody was talking all happy about Wesley Bell, but I wasn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had dealings with him back in 2014, 2015. And so when the consent decree came, he's the person who negotiated a weaker consent decree.
Mm.
So then he runs, and so, our plan was to run Wesley Bell as the mayor of Ferguson. I'm not gonna lie to you. He wasn't really into all of that. And so he didn't want to, he got in the city council, he didn't want to. He's like, no, it's not my time. And then he turned right around and ran for prosecutor of the county. So he's like, dang. And then I was like, yeah, this dude ain't that. And since then, he hasn't prosecuted one police officer. He actually hired a police officer to be his chief of staff. After he told Mike Brown that he would, Mike Brown's father, Mike Brown Sr., he's gonna reopen the case.
Who
Yeah,
funded? Who funded him?
who funded it?
Who funded it? That's what I. You know what I'm saying? That them kind of moves is who funded you, because campaign got to be paid for.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, it's that white liberal apparatus, bro. It's it's that them things that make people smile when you go there. You're gonna eat some arugula and stuff like that, but it ain't us.
Right,
So
right.
to all the big mamas and the brothers working in sanitation and pending pension and put a couple dollars on this campaign, he forgot about those people instantly, and he was trying to get to the Aspen Institute and other places like that to rub elbows with other prosecutors and learn the progressive lingo. But still be the same kind of prosecutor that kept black people behind.
Yep. Smooth talking.
Yeah,
Velvet
he
glove.
cold in that suit, that blue suit with that knob on. But I can't stunt, man. He a sharp brother, man.
And hit you with that velvet stick, huh? That velvet glove, slap it up on people.
Oh yeah. But yeah, you still going to jail. And if the police shoot you, he ain't gonna have nothing to say. So that's how it go, man. We dealt with a case of brother Terry Tillman, who had a gun, and we're open carry state. He had a gun in the mall. Somebody, one of the Arab brothers, Palestinian or Iraqi brothers had a store in the mall. Said he had a gun. Told the security guard. He ended up running, leaving the store. And the police chased him out the store, through the parking lot, across the street, up a parking garage, and shot and killed him. No charges
Wait a
from
minute, wait.
Wesley Bell.
He
Yeah,
chased him all that duration.
all that, bro. To only find out that he had a gun that might have fell out of his pocket running away from the police. We got videotape and pictures of the police moving the gun. All kind of stuff, man. It's just, but this, Wesley Bell has had a police involved shooting every month since he got in office. Actually, within 2 weeks of him being the prosecutor, a black woman was shot in this like real affluent suburb about 10 minutes from Ferguson. He came out, yeah, I'm gonna get on this, and y'all ain't gotta worry about this, and nah. And black people's like, yeah, go home, protesters. Wesley Bell got it. That's why we voted. Nah. Come. They said the woman stole some out the store and stole some flowers and some meat and all that. And come to find out, she was buying her dying mother, some flowers and balloons and some dinner. And she ended up getting shot by a police officer. Nobody was even stealing that day. Ended up getting shot by one of them white women who do all this work in the community. And now she got a colostomy bag for the rest of her life. But symbolism.
And what did he wind up doing? At the end of the day, what did he wind up doing?
Same thing me and you doing, talking on a little square on somebody's phone right now, talking about something that he ain't, just ain't gonna do, man.
Well, we're gonna have to learn past the symbolism. I mean, like what you were saying. I wouldn't describe Jackson that much more different, brother, to tell you the truth. Here you might say that there's a longer period of concentrated education that has happened in the movement.
Okay.
But that would actually be an exaggeration, to the extent that you got small pockets of people,
yes,
who've done some education. And they've tried to do mass education, but to varying degrees of success. And we've been able to put some of them folks, in positions of power, but it ain't changed the system one iota, not one. Not one. I mean, we got same thing been happening here the last couple of years. I mean, since Antar been in office, the police went on the killing spree here, man.
That's a fact. The same week. Then y'all have a shooting the second he was getting inaugurated.
Yep. I mean, just been on the killing spree. And one of the cold things, so it's re-election time here, right? The mayoral election.
That's right. They
on the off year, so this year is his year, And he's going to start his reelection campaign, but he done kind of put himself in a bind because, all the chatter coming from all the folks who got money, the folks who run the politics, who these are the white people who behind all the black political figures for the most part. So when I was asking that question, like, who funded them? Like, don't talk about politics to me. Like, okay, who funding you?
Right.
Show me that. Then we can talk about where you at. So they digging up, some folks to try to take Antar out, and they might succeed because part of what the kind of played out is he done kind of cornered himself in a lot of respect by catering and appealing to a kind of law and order rhetoric, because particularly like in the last 2 years, the things that they define as crime, right? You know what I'm saying? The things that they describe as crime, the statistics on that have been going up. And so you got a lot of black middle class folks and a lot of white, folks up in the northern part of the city talking about we need more police, we need to get tougher on crime. And he's been kind of supporting that rhetoric. And now the police done come out against him, even though that he done, made all these motions to give them raises, to shield them from some certain types of protection. They done say you didn't do enough, and they pulling up a couple of other candidates to try to move on him to be even tougher on crime. And because that's the dominant thing that is being put out there in the community, on those channels, like in the regular news and all that kind of stuff. Amongst them folks who steadily be watching the polls and who steady, who think they got an interest in that voting booth, he might lose, and that's one of the lessons of, if anybody who's paying attention to Jackson, that's one of the key lessons you better learn is like, you can't think you're going to play these people game better than they play it.
Come on.
And that you're going to win. You can't, it ain't going to happen like that. It just ain't going to happen that way.
It don't. Hey, look, man, we was talking today because it's election time. It's re-election time here. And I work on people campaigns, and they always come to me, asking. Now, it's a couple months away, so now, strategy and stuff come in. And so I always said this because we having a back and forth, and I said, when do people get? I heard tough on crime, and I get it. I live in the slums. It's police camera on the back end in front of me. I don't know if it was there before I moved in, but it's there now. When do people get tough on unemployment?
Right. There you go. Right.
I'm waiting on the tough on unemployment campaign. Like we go straight to crime, but we don't talk about education or economics as the key to that. Well, I ain't never like. I mean, Jackson way blacker than St. Louis in percentage. We about 50%, and we about 200,000 black people, maybe 175,000, something like that. But we don't have a black business district here.
Not one.
Not one. Not one. Now we may have black little strip malls, but it ain't us. It ain't us. It ain't even black capitalism here. It's just you can't even play ball. It was a sister. She had this restaurant called Last Call on the Land, and she was the only black restaurant on the riverfront, Mississippi riverfront, which is prime real estate. Man, they wouldn't give her a liquor license. They told her she had to close at a certain time. They said she couldn't play music that traveled outside of her building when she right around the corner from three of the loudest bars in the city. And you couldn't get support. These black politicians would not support her endeavors.
Our signal going in and out on us again, bro.
Yeah.
The signal going. It was delayed on my end. Did you hear that on your end?
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, you clipping. But Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
man.
be
It's
with.
it's that apartheid internet we got in Jackson.
It's that 5G that black people only get 3 of the G's. I just the disparities, man.
What the hell?
The disparities make you want to create
Everything is
something
off.
different, though. Yeah, you jumping bad now.
Hold on, I'm checking my folks because should be done with their homework.
If we had to do tech
Yeah,
in the
don't say
movement to
nobody
get
home.
free, we me and you wouldn't handle it. We have to. We can't do no tech. I can't do nothing. I'm limited. I couldn't even send a Zoom link yesterday. I was so and
Man. How late you gonna be up, bro?
I'm up. I'm up.
All right, let me hit it. Because what I think is going on is they don't have no damn dedicated lines in the neighborhood that I live at. So people, like you were talking about infrastructure a minute ago.
Yeah.
In the suburbs in Jackson.
Vicksburg.
Yeah, man, they got fiber optics for everybody's home. We called up talking about, we done paid y'all for a business line. And it's like, oh yeah, that only gets you 3 people being on the internet at one time. And it was like, well, we want this other program, but we heard no, that don't cover y'all area.
They don't cover your area.
They don't cover your area.
Yeah. You clear now. You crystal clear now.
Oh, it's clear. Okay. I was like, how they don't cover my area? I was like, the area I live in is one of the
With the
most
most people.
populated areas. Yeah, it's got the most
Right.
people. So how don't cover my area? And so I'm just operator. I'm just operator. I can't tell you. I said, yeah, I know what it is. It's damn apartheid. Y'all get up in damn suburbs. Ain't nobody even living at where my daughter she got piano classes. They all virtual and stuff now. But her piano teacher complaining like, I can't get your daughter on. And then that's what she found out. Oh, tell them that you want this line. I just got this line hooked up. Now she done moved out there. This woman done moved out there where they building a whole bunch of new houses, right? But ain't nobody out there. I think she on the block that she's in is basically gonna shut down because of COVID. And they got like 10 unfinished houses. She's one of like 4 in this complex. There's 4 houses they completed, and only 2 of them occupied. She got a dedicated line. I'm like, well, how y'all put a dedicated line out there where ain't nobody out there, but you can't get no fiber optic, dedicated lines in the heart of Jackson. Like you ain't even got no customer base. Y'all wasting money putting infrastructure out there that ain't nobody gonna even use.
For 12 people that don't exist.
They don't exist. Anyway, this that's that digital apartheid right here live in effect. So what's wind up happening, what I think is going on right now is all the kids in Jackson
they done got done with their homework.
Yep.
That iPhone and them tablets going ham. Especially if somebody playing that PS4 or that Xbox.
Yeah, you know exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'm there too. We don't really my son, man, he would play that thing, dog, until the end of time, man. He he good, man. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Some of this stuff, man, it really make you sad, right? Because you see people that you know going to places, and we didn't all sat down and were like, yo, the solution is here. Like, we didn't all said that kumbaya like 5 years ago. Like, we talked about it, right? And then they get in there and it's like Superman. Like, either you say, like, tell the truth, Superman don't exist, or all these white people walking through City Hall with kryptonite. Like, but you gotta let us know which one it is.
Right.
Because if it can't be done, it can't be done. And so we need to divest from putting too much energy. Like, millions upon millions of dollars on elections. Like the Democratic Party spent $100 million for 2 white people to lose to Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell. $100 million, man.
Add it up. What could
100
you
in 2
do
places.
in 2
South
places?
Carolina, that Negro that ran, who never talked to, he was rarely talking about black issues, $60 million. The white girl in Kentucky to run against Mitch McConnell after they bumped Charles Booker, the black dude, out in the primary with the white girl, because you know they love to run a white girl out of nowhere. She got almost $40 million. That's $100 million. We ain't got $100 million for the movement. We ain't got $100 million for black grassroots organizing.
It ain't gonna even come. And the thing is, everybody knew Lindsey Graham wasn't gonna lose that seat, and Mitch McConnell wasn't gonna lose that seat. So y'all just throwing good money for bad. Everybody knew that.
Flip
you know
what? Flip what? We're gonna flip the Senate, huh? Yeah. All right. At
Everybody
best,
knew
you have a tie. That's where we at now.
And that ain't gonna do nothing but keep Mitch McConnell in control. Everybody need to be clear on that. He's still running the show.
He's still running the show.
He's still running the show. Mitch McConnell, actually the most powerful of the whole bunch, even more so than Biden. Biden got to get all his cabinet approved by Mitch. He got to get his budget approved by Mitch. So Mitch back there playing long game chess. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, all right, I don't even need the title to be the king. You know, but that's
a fact.
Yeah, that's how you play. But you know, when you're at that level. But for us, I mean, the thing that's been most disappointing to me is to see so much of our time and energy, and so many of our folks' time and energy the last couple of months, bro, be dedicated to this Democratic Party machine on a national level, and people really thinking that they're gonna get something out of this Biden administration as if you just can ignore the last couple of 100 years of history. You know what I'm saying? And then people come up with some of these folks who actually want to sit at the table and have dialogue with Biden after he had already won. It's like, what, you don't have no conversation, negotiate your position after somebody and secure victory. You done already gave them everything they need. Why need to sit down with you now?
Yeah. Look, this the day after prom, baby. Everything we done is over with. If we didn't go together on prom night, baby, we damn sure going together the day after. It was just a good time.
Yeah, just a good time. That was it.
We all had a good time.
Yep.
And the white boy, and that's the thing, like, even like somebody said, which really struck me, is like, how does Joe Biden survive in a Me Too era? But other people can't.
How you survive any goddamn era?
But in the Me Too era, right? This is my point.
Right.
The faux feminism that is supposed to be prevailing, and the same people who created it gave grace to Biden.
Great to them. But that's also us too.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, y'all forgot that this dude wrote the crime bill. Y'all forgot that. Y'all forgot that this is the dude who was against busing. I mean, I that wasn't my thing anyway.
That ain't my thing anyway. But even the Negroes that came, he didn't even want you to come.
Right, he didn't want you to come. But now he's Uncle Joe. I'm like, wait.
Uncle Joe, yeah. Oh,
yeah. So I didn't know your uncle was old racist ass white man, sexist ass white man. Yeah. That you gonna tolerate and accept that.
Yeah.
And you talking about we gonna make America equal now. I mean, you ain't let them 4 million black folks that have been in prison. You ain't gave them no reduced sentences. You ain't gave them no reparations. You know what I'm saying? You ain't exonerated nobody's record.
You ain't sponging nothing.
Yeah, you ain't. I'm like, I can't even hear it. We're like, but this is better than the other option. On what score?
Where? For who?
Yeah, for who?
For who? If I'm locked up, I'm still bad. If I got locked up and I'm out, I still can't get housing. I still can't go get no SNAP benefit, none of that. So what we talking about? You know, I didn't know when I looked in 94 or 90, 92 or 94 is when Biden and Clinton criminalized child support.
That was 94. I remember very clearly.
All of that. So you gotta undo all that.
We weren't giving. He ain't even
You gotta undo all that.
He ain't even offered a real apology yet.
Ain't one. Somebody called me today saying, I know somebody worked for the Biden administration. Let's try to get you to talk to him. And I'm like, yo, when I reached out to black people I knew that was over there working, they told the truth. They was like, yo, Biden don't want to listen to me or you, and I'm working for him. I'm telling you.
At least they were honest with themselves. I give them that. At least they was honest with themselves.
I ain't gonna, I ain't putting the homie out because the homie, over there eating, So I told her go and throw something in the IBFA bucket. Put something, just sprinkle some stuff around, and give it to the movement people. I don't know, but she was like, yo, he ain't listening to us. She was like, yo, Tory, I love you and I appreciate what you do. And she was like, yo, this white boy is she was like, he wanted them. He know everything for niggas. You can't tell him nothing. And he got a pick few people that he listened to. And only in a limited time. The house got to be on fire for him to listen to the firemen.
If that. Because he wasn't the white boy like, I got my bunker, so y'all can have that. Y'all can have that top deck. Y'all can have that top deck.
But this summer, bro, that's what I was talking, man. We was talking. I was talking to all kind of people, and I'm like, yo, we need our own party, yo. Like we just need our own joint. Like by hook or crook, we gotta let them know we ain't playing, man. Like this, like we ran out in droves, man. 80 million people, man. Most black people in the history of America. And we ain't got nothing, man. We got no executive order in the first week. We ain't got nothing, man. We just got a recommendation, man. It's like a consent decree. It's like if I hear somebody say something racist or something demeaning around me, you're fired instantly on the spot. I said, dang, I'm like, damn, Master said he got to hear it for it to be true. He got to be, unless he God gonna be omnipresent for every racial tension. And I was like, but now I don't live or work in the White House, so what that mean for me?
What that mean for me? I'm not gonna get none of that benefit. But yo, on the real, we passed due on that, man. But the issue is, I think the reality of it, we got to start on that level. We gotta find some place that's gonna do the dirty work and get some victories that demonstrate a different way of doing it. I thought that was gonna be the case here in Jackson.
Me too. I was praying,
but it ain't proven to be the case. So I want folks to learn the hard lessons. Leaving that Democratic Party plantation is proved to be extremely difficult. And I'm not gonna lie to nobody and tell them, in the grand scheme of things, it's not. But at some point, some place is gonna have to make a breakthrough on this question, man. That's one amongst many. But getting folks off that plantation, we had some of the better circumstances here. You know what I'm saying? I still think we do. The city's still over 80% black.
Mm-hmm.
So you could basically put your axe to the grind, come up with a long-term campaign like 3 or 4 years, because that's really what it would take.
That's what it's gonna take, because you got mass political education, baby.
Yeah, but it can be done, but you're gonna have to realize that you're gonna have to do it without no money.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of what your people gonna give you, and that's gonna be crumbs, but you're gonna have to work with them crumbs. and you're gonna have to basically put in people power hours to overcome, what their dollars can buy. You got to have a long term strategy because we if we can't strike for some basic political independence, even in the electoral arena, we ain't gonna have much hope of attaining real economic independence.
Uh-huh.
We're not gonna have it. So we're gonna have to figure this piece out, one way or another. And I think at least, I think there's some lessons that could be drawn here in some of the early areas because, one of the things that you're talking about political education, I don't think, well, some things honestly, man, people will tell you, but you really don't know until you do it. Let me give respect to that
Okay.
because I know going in myself, I read up on the National Black Independent Political Party. Some of my folks involved in that. Um, they tried to give us the fair warning about how hard it was to lead a Democratic Party. But I figured initially, they was talking about places like Detroit, Chicago, which are bigger beasts, to deal with. And I thought we had enough kind of an independent motion in the population size to do something different here. But man, it didn't. It ain't turned out to be that way, and a lot of it has to do with folks uh, not wanting to put in that time and effort to fail at the first post. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like build your strength up over time, so that you can be in a position to do it and just want a short term reward. If you want that, then being in the Democratic Party is a much easier piece. Like even down here, some of my folks used to argue like, well, we can still kind of do our own thing was the argument, but we're gonna use their ballot line since it's already constructed. And it was like, no, you can't really use their ballot line at the end of the day because you still tied into all their funding motions, to all their political apparatus, their national network. And so if you're gonna make the break, you got to make the break. I mean, that's the clearest lesson from all this past decade of doing this work, man. I can tell you, you're gonna make the break, you got to make a clean break.
And that's where I'm at, pushing people. What I was saying, even when Diddy was talking that, talk, you know, man, I can tell you about that. That was a hell of a thing trying to convince rappers and athletes and entertainers to be on the side. And I'm talking about black ones. This was a hell of a year. I got to talk to some people and really try to push them. And I'm gonna be me. I make no apologies. It ain't the nicest terms to define myself. But I'm always gonna be a nigga from the West Side when I come through, and I gotta be real about that. And cause I represent some people who just don't understand. And
Right.
and I ain't
Right.
seen nothing to work, and I ain't seen nobody try to fund that. I ain't never seen nobody try to fund how we flip we talk about flipping the Senate, but we ain't trying to flip the dope boy into a business owner. We ain't trying to flip that. And so our strategies always go into that, and then they win. And so I really push like, yo, look, before we talk about political party and all this and civil war, all this cute, because I don't think y'all gonna be shooting if it go down. Is y'all gonna fund mass education for voters? Like in the city where I'm at, people don't even know what the mayor do. People don't know what the comptroller. People don't know what these roles are.
Mm-hmm.
When the inspector come, I had that conversation today. People don't know. People don't know what the inspector do. They don't know about none of that. So how do we educate? And we understand it's like they got the money, and I keep trying to push. Because if not, then I'm gonna get real mad and try to punch somebody in the face, and that's not always helpful. Because it's impossible to see your people suffering with that kind of money and not meet with them, And so they become like the Democratic Party in a way, They become the Joe Biden of the thing, They don't
Right.
have the expertise. You know, I ain't never had a rapper tell me how to organize my community in an effective way. And if they did, they wasn't gonna come down and show me. They wasn't gonna
Yeah.
get in the trenches with me. They wasn't gonna bring no ideology and philosophy to it. They wasn't bringing no praxis. And so I just try to push, man, but it's real hard, man. So I feel like you said, if we can get our own line in some of these cities, in a St. Louis, in a Jackson, in a Birmingham, you know, mostly Midwest, in the South, um, because you know we the same. We just up south,
Right.
but
Right.
we can do some things, and if we can do it like the Workers' Family Party, I think that's how we get on.
Well, we
You
got
know,
some work to put in that. Let's do a series on that, bro. So we can build on it. So we can build on it.
first we need
But I'm
some.
not.
First, we need some of that color change money, man. I'm, you know, we need some. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel, you know, I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel some type of way, man, because they got all this money and they came here and they helped with Wesley Bill and all these other people, and now they ain't nowhere to be found with the political education money, with the civic engagement money. I don't know where
Well,
it's at where you at, but where I'm at, that's where it goes. So all of it gets sucked up in either Black Lives Matter or that kind of thing, and it's like,
well, it's millions of dollars floating out there now between was it moving for Black Lives. I think they got a healthy chunk of change that's out there. Was it?
grassroots network is what they
Yeah.
call the Global Foundation. You know, they got more names than P. Diddy, man, you know.
And they getting it. They getting it right now.
They
You know
getting
what
it
I'm
right now.
saying? It's gonna have to be some challenges on that, man. You know, and from a loving perspective, but from an honest criticism, you know, in the place of like, yo, okay, y'all got that bread, now what y'all gonna do with it? You know what I mean? And you know, if I hear more people like we're gonna put some more money in some electoral campaign, I'm walking away. I'm telling you that right now. I'm like, nah, I ain't helping support another Democrat do a goddamn thing.
No,
You know
now
what I
we
mean?
talking about our democratic process as Black people.
Yeah,
It's
that's
far
different.
here. Yeah,
Yeah, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, unless we talking about buying some land, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Building some businesses, moving some like, nah, if you come right to me about that program. I get with you on that.
But I don't
You
think that I don't they not, you know, because I was over there for 2 years, man. Them people they not there. They ain't they first of all, most some people don't come from where we come from. And
yeah,
I know I've been to their cities and all that.
that's a problem. That's another
They
problem.
they come from up there. And I ain't saying it's too far up there, but they come from up there, you know. So
Yeah,
uh
we gonna have to deal on it.
yeah, man. That's what
But
to me,
let's make this a regular feature of what we do,
for
man.
sure.
I'm gonna have to slide off right now because this back is starting to the
Tighten up.
I'm I need to it's starting to tighten up on me. I'm gonna need to go put some ice on
Yeah,
it. You see me
you you
movement.
you you done stood on it for an hour now. That's
Yeah,
enough for the week now.
yeah. Hey, don't shortchange me yet, bro. Don't jinx me, man. I need a couple of more days.
All right, I
But
got one
yeah,
question. What's the weather like today?
it was what was the weather like today, man? It was about like 60 something, but raining. A little balmy here, man. That's
It's
not too
about
bad for my back. It's when it get cold, that's when it get bad for my back.
Yeah, I think the high was like 32 today.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I feel for you, brother. See anything
I
below
got to deal
60
with
is
the
cold to
Democrats
me.
and this weather.
Yeah, anything below 60 is cold to me, bro.
Yeah, I gotta get that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull back up on y'all, man, and just I gotta get. It's too cold, man. It's too cold, man. I gotta.
Hey, you might have to do a seasonal. You know what I'm saying? Be up there doing the spring and summer down here doing the winter, man. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you know, it's a little bit better. It ain't too bad right now.
yeah.
So yeah, we hook it up.
All right, bro. I'm gonna
All
talk to
right.
you soon, man.
In a minute.